Hello again, everybody. Welcome to the Backbone Podcast, where common sense still makes sense in a world that is sick and only getting sicker. And it's getting sicker and sicker and sicker. But first things first, let me get something out of the way really quick. I just want to wish my boy a happy birthday today. He just birthday today, passed his driving test at a very young age, 17. And now the nightmares begin. My oldest daughter was on the 9th, so I have June babies and a September baby, and nothing better than that. Nothing better than children. No, that's the only thing that matters for a man, a real man. It's not money. It's not how many girls you bang. It's how many children you bring into this world that are productive, and thank God mine are healthy, happy, and productive. And we must protect them because there is vermin in this world. Some of them are teaching at universities. Some of them are writing articles at universities that want to see your or my children evaporated from the earth. This was an article written in the Harvard magazine, and the title is Abolish the White Race. Here's a quote from that article. Quote, "Make no mistake about it. We intend to keep bashing the dead white males and the live ones and the females too." You hear that, liberal white women? You're not safe. You're not safe from these people. They hate you. They probably hate you more than they hate me. Until social construct known as, quote, the white race is destroyed. Not deconstructed, but destroyed. Okay. So they're letting you know what the game plan is. They are telling you, and you can't say it's out of context. Oh, she or whoever wrote this article doesn't say. It's you're missing the point. No, it's right there in black and white. They want to destroy you and me. Where's the outrage in this? If this article was, first of all, this article would never make the light of day if it was geared towards any other race or any other sexual orientation or whatever. Wouldn't see the light of day. White people, like Catholics, are easy targets, soft targets. So there is no outrage. So that means that the ball is in white people's court. What are you going to do about it? It's okay to go on Twitter or X or whatever, social media, and bitch and moan and say blah, blah, blah. They're giving you the war plan. They are telling you they want you dead. What else? What more do you need? How many articles and books have to be published? How many sound bites do you have to hear? How many movies and commercials and all this stuff and music? How many do you have to see and hear? How many white children have to be killed? How many young white girls have to be raped and harassed on the streets in Europe and in the United States, in Canada? How much of this more do you have to take before enough's enough? I mean, where do we draw the line here? These are people who come from insignificant shit countries. Excuse me. They come here to this beautiful white European Christian country, and that's what America is. That's what North America, that's what the Western Hemisphere is, frankly. They come here and they hate you. They want to change everything back to the country they want to change everything back to what resembles their old country, a shithole. And they're succeeding. They're winning. So what is it going to take? You're not going to vote your way out of this. Police aren't going to protect you. I have a heartbreaking story about that in France. Look what happened to that Norwalk kid in England. The police are not going to protect you. Your politicians, they're bought and paid for, and they could care less. And you have white women who will indiscriminately have interracial out of wedlock babies with these vermin to destroy their bloodlines. You have liberal white women who condone this. I've heard liberal white women say, yep, the white race has to go. And I always say the same thing. Why don't we start with you first? Lead by example. This is getting to the point where you have to take it seriously. I mean, these are articles being written. Isn't this hate speech? I mean, if I were to go on this platform and talk about the eradication of certain peoples, I'd be banned from every platform I'm on. And I guarantee you, I would have the police at my door. Guaranteed. But the person who wrote this article not only wrote this article, not only was this article published, but they're being celebrated for it by Harvard. It's astonishing. It's absolutely astonishing. Because white people are under blatant attack. And white people don't care. The media certainly doesn't give a shit. And it's condoned. And the whole the crutch of it is that these fake Christians and even Catholics will say, we have to turn the other cheek. What would Jesus do? Jesus died for our sins. Listen, enough's enough. If that's what being Catholic or Christian means, to watch yourself slowly be eradicated, I don't want to be it anymore. And that's not what it means. Okay? Read about Vlad the Impaler. He was Catholic, well, Orthodox Christian. He defended the cross. Read about the Crusades. Real articles about the Crusades, the truth about the Crusades. Our ancestors saved us so we can move on to greater things. We have to pick up the mantle and start saving again. We're this planet's only hope. Believe me. I've been to some countries where there's no white people. You don't want to see that. You don't want to see a world without white men. Believe me, you do not. It's got to start sometime, somewhere. And it's got to start fast. Because we're in trouble. They're not hiding it. This is not a conspiracy theory. I mean, a wall has to fall down on you for you to believe this. I don't know. It's sickening. It's just sickening. Now, I am no WNBA expert, and I am no basketball fan, right? I mean, you watch the playoffs a little bit, whatever, if you're in a bar. But last night, Alyssa Thomas of the Mercury pressed her fist into Caitlin Clark of the Indiana Fever, her throat, during a second quarter scramble. Now, this is the footage. This is the shot of it. There is some footage, but I just don't want to get a copyright. Where this girl, it's blatant. Okay, you'll find it on social media. Again, a white woman on the floor and a black woman with her fist in her throat. If this isn't blatant, the annoying part about this is Thomas was suspended 1 game for a flagrant foul. Is that enough? She hit this girl in the throat. A shot hard enough in the throat will kill you. It'll snap your windpipe, and you're gone. You're a goner. It's over. This is assault. This is not what sports is supposed to be about. But again, she's going to be suspended one game. She'll probably be paid for that one day. Who cares? And she'll come back and she'll knock somebody else out, or another white player out. She certainly won't do this to a black player because they're sisters. But if this isn't a sign, a showing of a blatant attack on white people, on the NBA, WNBA's biggest star, nobody else talks about anybody in that league except this Caitlin Clark person. This is your bread and butter here. This is the only reason why people are watching. You think you would, I'm not saying protect her, but say, hey, these type of things, you're going to get suspended without pay for a long time. No. The commissioner of the WNBA, of course, is a woman. And if you want anything to be destroyed immediately in a rapid pace, you put a woman in charge. And she's a white woman too. And I've always said, white women are the cancer of Western civilization. If they are not brought to heal, if they are not brought back to their nature, which is the home, which is the children and family, they're lost. They are a lost tribe of nuts. And they vote a certain way, and they do certain things with their bodies. And it's all for the detriment of Western civilization. This is not going to stop. It's only going to get worse. If you think that it's going to get better just by sitting back and letting nature take its course, it's not going to work like that. It's just not. And I'm going to do a video tomorrow of all these black people on social media talking about, race war and this and that. They want it. I don't. But what are you going to do if you're being attacked? There's 400 million guns in this country, and I think over 2 trillion bullets out there in circulation. Something's going to give. We cannot continue to live this way. We cannot continue to be afraid to walk in our own streets. I heard something very sad coming out of Sweden, that the Swedish people, and I've been to Sweden, it was beautiful. Stockholm is absolutely adorable. The people are lovely. Their nightlife was free. You would go to the beaches in Sweden during the summertime, of course. And not to be a perv, but girls would be topless, or they'd wear bathing suits, revealing bathing suits, and they're all gorgeous. They're all beautiful. Now, women are told not to wear revealing bathing suits because it could turn on the asylum seekers there, and they could be attacked. Now, the nightlife in Sweden basically is ceased to exist because people are afraid to go out at night because of the vermin, these marauding vermin that run around causing chaos. This is a country under attack. This is one of the most liberal countries out there, and they brought this upon themselves. But this is what their people are dealing with now. Their women are being attacked, and no one does a thing about it. No one. Their children are being attacked. As adults, you got to handle your own. But when children are being attacked, that's when you got to draw the line. And this Caitlin Clark issue, they want to say it's not that big of a deal. It's just the beginning, bro. It's just the beginning. And if you think it's going to stop there, you're insane. You're insane. And that leads me up to this heartbreaking footage of this young boy named Lewis. I don't know his full name, but according to reports, he was beaten a few weeks ago by a mob of asylum seekers, and he reported it to the police. The police, his countrymen, people that most likely look like him, people that speak his language, people that have been in France probably for 20 generations, did nothing to these boys. So what happens? Those same vermin that attacked this young kid here, a 17-year-old boy, same age as my son, they found him and they finished what they wanted to start a few weeks ago.
Fais demi. Du temps que je suis fais demi. Fais demi. Cours. Je vais t'enculer. C'est bon, voilà, je suis désolé. Voilà, alors casse-toi, allez. Moi, je veux que des tapé KO. C'est bon, il a tapé KO, il dort. Il a tapé KO. Voilà, je viens KO. Il tape KO. Allez, on taille. Voilà. Regardez. Les petits trous du cul comme lui. Fais demi.
That 17-year-old boy today is dead. That could be your child. That could be mine. And I ask you again, what in God's name? You know, there's that joke of the priest in the flood, right? There's a big rainstorm and the priest is in the square and a guy comes and says to him, Father, you know, the rain's coming, you're going to drown. The priest says, no, God will protect me. And then it goes up to his waist and a guy in a boat comes by. No, God will protect me. Somebody in a helicopter, it goes up to his neck. The water's up to his neck. A guy in a helicopter comes by and he says, no, God will protect me. So eventually the priest drowns. And when he goes to heaven, the priest is upset with God. And he says, oh, God, you know, I gave you my life. I dedicated my life to you. How come you couldn't protect me in that flood? And God says, who the hell do you think sent the guy in the boat, in the car, the boat, and the helicopter? God is giving us the signals and the signs to this. He's warning us. He's martyring people. It's time to stand up. It's time to, and I'm not talking about ending people's lives. I'm not talking about that. How you deal with bullies is you punch them in the nose. Then they go away. When white men are strong and assertive and dominant, the world falls to your feet. The world's not falling to our feet anymore. Everybody laughs at America. Trust me. Don't believe any of the hype about the, you know, oh, we're the greatest. That's not true anymore. Everybody looks at this country like we're a big fat joke. Western Europe is the same. How many more Lewises do we need? How many more Norwalk boys do we need? How many more girls being harassed or videos of children being beaten in schools, in broad daylight, in squares? How many more of that do you need? How many more articles do you have to read to know that they're coming after you? And there's no one out there to save you. We're on our own. Now, let's be honest. When it is us against the world, European heterosexual Christian males, you know, the world tends to bend the knee very, very quickly. Nobody fucks with us when we're pissed off. But, you know, we have to come out of this coma and say enough's enough. When will that happen? I don't know. Will it ever happen? I also don't know. Because right now it just seems that dormancy is the answer to the white man's burden. There's no other way to explain it. And that's my 2 cents. Thanks again for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, and share. Remember, my friends, Satan is always busy. Be a man and have a backbone, because masculinity and common sense are worth standing up for. And remember, my friends, if it ends in an ism, it's a mental disorder. We'll see you later.